Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. In recent times, Nigerians generally have been crying out for so many things. Well, one of which is insecurity. The citizens have been crying out, asking for better security measures, and initially it was a case of just the north was a northern issue, all right, but now it's now a Nigerian issue. There seems to be no state spared majority coming from the southern part of Nigeria now. I'm talking about the southeastern part, Aba, Ebonyi, Imo, and a bit of Anambra, but they're all Enugu, they're all coming up, and it's now worrisome. Of course, United States of America have broken their silence over what is going on in Nigeria. But before we go to the news proper to find out what it is, they are saying that it's definitely going to affect Nigerians as a whole. We'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. There's been a lot of unpleasant happenings in Nigeria of late, and the most common challenge is insecurity. While the President Muhammadu Buhari's led federal government is trying to put an end to this, the United States of America has reacted to the handling of the situation by the Federation. Speaking earlier today during the maiden edition of Grow Nigerian Conversation, former U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. John Campbell, disclosed that if the federal government of Nigeria fails to address the problem of human rights abuses by security forces, that the country may never receive technical and financial assistance in the fight against insecurity. He said that the US laws prohibit the American government from supporting any security forces accused of human rights violations. He, however, charged the federal government to do all it can to restore public confidence in the security, especially the police. The message from the United States should be taken seriously because we need all the help we can get to help win the issue of insecurity in the nation. Well, we can't keep, denying the fact that things are happening in the country. But let's quickly feel the pulse of Nigerians over this because Nigerians, of course, have reacted concerning this matter. But if you ask me, this issue of security forces and this issue of human rights against violation against human rights has been subtle, But a typical example is what happened in Lekki toll gates during the hashtag and SARS. Up till now, we are just they're meandering here and there, nothing really tangible we've heard. Yes, there have been cases of people coming up, opening up old ones, but I think basically there's nothing very serious that is eye catching that have been, done in that aspect. And of course, in recent times, we've heard what has happened in Benue State, where I think one of these communities in Benue where I don't know how the whole thing happened, but the military convoy were ambushed, and they actually had the guts to kidnap 10 of our soldiers. Along the line, in a bid of trying to get intelligence, according to some of the indigenous community, indigenous locals living there, they said the military came around and razed down some of their buildings, some of their sons are displaced, some of their properties gone, simply because they were trying to get the bandits who did all this. But the innocent human citizens living in that area, according to the citizens living there, of course, the indigenous said that they were the one paying the price for it. All that and much more. In about some videos have gone viral where this guy just woke up, according to an elderly man who owns and rides a keke napep tricycle, complained that he was actually in one of the restaurants eating in Aba, and the next thing he saw was that security forces came around, destroyed some of the properties, took away his keke. Some buses too said the same thing. All these and much more. Yes, there could be intelligence, but we should apply a little bit of decorum towards this so that innocent civilians don't pay the price for what they do not know. Yes, we have a serious issue in our hands. Insecurity is biting deep in the country, but I also feel that that's where intelligence come in. We shouldn't do this as if we are just vigilantes. We actually trained guys, should do it, show our professionalism, so that of course the citizens will learn to trust, respect, and love our security personnel if they go through the professional way, of course. But let's feel the pulse of Nigerians, because Nigerians, of course, have reacted to this threat by United States of America over what is happening in Nigeria. This one here is saying, in fact, don't give them anything. Isolate them from the whole world. Don't allow anyone to give them anything. This is not a country, but a group of people spending government resources. I'm sure he's actually talking about the level of impunity, corruption, and plutocracy that is going on in the country. It's crazy, really. You just you hear things that billions have been stolen and swept under the carpet. Nobody has been caught. No politician is in prison for plutocracy, and I don't even understand. In Nigeria, one of the major, we all know democracy, and in Nigeria we have what we call plutocracy. It's just basic. Everybody who comes in want to practice that particular dimension of politics. It's crazy, but it's only happening majorly in Africa, but headquarters is in Nigeria. But let's continue anyway. This one here says US and Britain are the enemies of Africa. Excuse me. The truth of the matter is, you cannot. Okay, let me. A typical example is these idioms, folktale stories they usually tell us those days. They say is house rat. Outside rat cannot come and know where the fish inside the house is, except the house rat points to the outside rat where the oga or the madam have kept the smoked fish, that, or the dried fish where they kept it, or else outside rat will not know where it is kept. So technically speaking, charity begins at home. Let's start from home and cleanse it inside out. How are other countries doing it? When you keep saying that they're enemies of Africa, they're enemies of Nigeria, how come they're not the enemies of other countries? Because they have been able to harness their home front and their country, such that outsiders can't even come in and poach. It's not in the same Nigeria that you begin to see foreigners having access. The other time, I think sometime last year, 2020, I think during the lockdown, we still had some Cameroonians coming to write, one Cameroonian, one Niger, coming to write immigration exams to get employment. While an average Nigerian doesn't even have employment. This is how bad it has become. So don't fix your home. Stop. You forget about outsiders first. Fix your home. When you fix it, then it's easier to tackle outsiders. That's my belief system, really. Stop pointing accusing fingers outside. Begin from home first. Cleanse your home, make it functional, and you see others will just align. Okay, if you keep dragging your father's name outside, outsiders too will match your father's head. But if you do well and you keep protecting your father, do the things, it will be difficult for anybody to even point accusing finger at your father in front of you, because you don't toy with your father's name. But let's continue. This one here is saying, let the whole world reject Nigeria and send our people back home. Maybe we can sit down and think otherwise. Why would you want them to send Nigerians in diaspora back home? Do you know the value of what they do to us? The exchange, the forex they bring in, into Nigeria. That is a no-no. Nigerians are performing well, and it's not their fault they're performing well. They had an enabling environment out there, and they're performing well. I don't believe in anybody touching diasporas, in as much as they're obeying the laws of the land. Why not? They should stay there. That one is a personal beef. Honestly, that was not an analysis from you. How can you tell somebody who have successfully stayed in the country, followed the laws of the land, and you're telling them to bring them back for what? What crime has he committed simply because you at home have not been able to harness your country? Please let's visit that comment section. What's your take on what